Hello everyone, I'm back with another Kawaii Amigurumi tutorial. If you want to know how to make this super cute onigiri, then keep watching. You will need some white colored yarn and of course a hook. We will start by making a knot on our hook. Then grab some yarn and pull through the loop on your hook. Do this twice. Then insert your hook into the first loop, grab some yarn, pull through the loop, then grab some yarn again, and pull through 2 loops. Insert your hook into the same loop and repeat the process. We will be doing this stitch 6 times. For the next round, insert your hook into the first stitch of the previous round and do 2 stitches. Make 2 stitches in all the stitches across, and in the end you should have done 12 stitches. For the next round, we will be making 2 stitches every other stitch. So make 2 stitches into the first stitch, then 1 stitch into the next, then 2 stitches into the next, and so on. In the end, you should have done 18 stitches. I'm using a purple yarn to mark the end of the row. Now we will be making 1 stitch into each stitch and make 2 more rounds of 18 stitches. For the next round, we will make 2 stitches every 2 stitches. So make 2 stitches into the first stitch, then 1 stitch into each of the next 2 stitches, then 2 stitches again into the next, and so on. In the end of this round, you should have done 24 stitches. Once you have done 24 stitches, do 2 more rounds of 24 stitches. For the next round, we will make 2 stitches every 3 stitches. So make 2 stitches into the first stitch, then 1 stitch into the next 3 stitches, then 2 stitches again into the next, and so on. In the end, you should have done 30 stitches. After you've done 30 stitches, do 2 more rounds of 30 stitches. Now we will be decreasing the stitches from 30 to 24, and to do this I will be skipping a stitch every 3 stitches. So make 1 stitch into each of the first 3 stitches, then skip a stitch and stitch into the next. Then make 3 stitches into the next 3 stitches, then skip a stitch and stitch into the next, and so on. Now we will decrease the stitches from 24 to 18, and to do that we will skip a stitch every 2 stitches. So make 1 stitch into each of the first 2 stitches, then skip a stitch, then make 2 stitches, skip a stitch again, Then make 2 stitches and so on. Now do 2 more rounds of 18 stitches. Finally, we can cut the yarn off and make sure to leave a sufficient amount of yarn to stitch the bottom of the onigiri. Time to fill up the onigiri's body with some stuffing. Now we can close the bottom, stitching it with the extra yarn left at the end. You can use a yarn needle to do this, but since I don't have one, I'm using my hook. So this is how it should look like once you've closed the bottom. Cut the extra yarn off and we're done with the onigiri's body. To make the seaweed, use some black yarn. Here I'm using a yellow one just so that you can see what I'm doing. So start with a knot on your hook, grab some yarn and pull through the loop on your hook. We will be doing this 8 times. Once you have this chain, insert your hook into the second stitch from the hook. Grab some yarn, pull through the loop, then grab some yarn again and pull through 2. Do this into all the stitches across. At the end of the row, grab some yarn, pull through the loop on your hook and flip your work. Again, starting from the second stitch from the hook, stitch into all the stitches across. At the end of the row, chain 1 and flip your work. Keep repeating the process until you've done 12 rows. So in the end, you should have something like this, and here's the one I made with the black yarn. Now attach the seaweed with some thread or some glue. I'm using some glue to stick the eyes, and then I'm sewing the lips. Add the cheeks and you're done. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more like this, and I shall talk to you on my next video.